I asked you this before in regard to kids and how we present this to them, because basically my kids were saying to me, Dad, are we at war now, when they caught wind of all of this?
Yeah, and I'm glad you bring that up, because our kids will be frightened today, tomorrow, and for a few days thereafter. We're not to poo-poo their fear. We're not to be dismissive of it. We should listen to them, understand their concerns, yet be reassuring of them. We can let them know that we're here, that we keep them safe. They will have reasonable concerns. We do want to limit their exposure to these newscasts. This, as overwhelming as it is for me, as a mature adult, and for yourself, Scott, it is even more overwhelming for our children. So they don't need the full exposure to it that you and I might obtain today.
Is there an age where they will, or they're more apt to pay attention for their own interests? Is there an age that they're fine to be watching?
It's not that there's an age that they're more apt to listen to it for their own interest. It's more that, depending on their age, they'll interpret it differently. Mm-hmm. So the younger child, first of all, the preschooler will just know that Mommy and Daddy is upset. They're not going to appreciate or comprehend what homegrown terrorism or these things mean. To the younger school-age child, they're going to look at it more in black and white terms. There's good out there, there's bad out there. It's scary because of the bad. And from that perspective, they're going to need to be reassured that we will keep them safe. To the later school-age child, the preteen and young teen, they're going to look at this with, I would think, also a sense of moral outrage as well as concern. They may find more solace in the company of their peers, as will the older teen. And teenagers will be more capable of looking at this through a moral lens, not just a fear-based lens, although they'll be fearful as well.
How do we address the religious concerns here? And I'll ask you this very politically incorrect question. Does religion cause war, or do bad people use religion as a vehicle for their hate?
So I'm of the view that bad people use religion as a vehicle for their hate, and we shouldn't be picking on any one religious group, because when we look over the passage of time, virtually all religions have been hijacked for individual or group or community gain. So no religion from that perspective is exempt, and we should be very, very cautious here as a community, as society, as a country, to not marginalize any group on the basis of their faith.
Why is it that this particular religion seems to be a haven or a place for these types of people to go right now?
That's a good question. I don't have an easy answer to that. I think scholars will be debating that one for time to come, Scott. However, there is such discontent, as there always has been, throughout the Middle East. And so this may just be an easier vehicle for which to tie one's animosity and hate to.
So, I guess to sum this up, what should Canadians take from this? We were talking earlier with the reporter from Ottawa, and I asked him whether he felt that Ottawa whether it was the end of the innocence for Ottawa. Is that the case for Canada? Are we different people today?
We are very different people today. Our collective naivety was tested on Monday when the soldier was run over, and it is gone with the ringing of the first gunshot today. We are no longer naive. That's just gone, and we're going to wake up with a greater sense of personal mortality, that we all can be vulnerable, and that collectively we are well immersed in the fight against terror.
What do you want Canadians to take from this? Because obviously everybody's a little agitated today. Everybody's a little anxious. Everybody's feeling sad. People are upset. We were even talking that angry. It makes you angry to see this sort of thing go on. What are people to take from this? How do we move forward?
Well, we've always said that we're part of the global community, and that is at times a good thing, and at times it's a scary thing. So this is the scary side of being part of the global community. We all have a responsibility to make our world a better place. I would encourage folks, rather than running to arms in the sense of firearms, that if you do want to run to arms, it's for the sake of hugging. Hug your loved ones, make your children feel safe, and do what you can within your home, your community, your workplace to bring peace. Because that's where we have, on an individual level, that's where we have agency. That's where we have our most effectiveness as people, our homes, our communities, our workplaces. So I would encourage people to do whatever they can to affect peace where they have capacity.
If you're a man or woman in uniform today, how are you feeling, especially if you're in the military?
These are persons, God bless them, they act on our behalf. When we're asleep, they are not. They have had their existence validated by the events of today. So on the one hand, they appreciate and understand their place in society. On the other hand, as the front lines, you have to know that it is scary for them as well.
All right. Gary Dierenfeld has been with us, social worker. You can find out more at yoursocialworker.com. We've been talking about